Hello everyone, welcome to today's season on immunity, a fascinating and essential topic in microbiology. So, the immunity is ability of an organism to resist infections or toxins by identify and neutralizing pathogens like bacteria, viruses, and fungi. So, as an MBBS student, understanding immunity is crucial since it's formed the basis of many diseases and their treatments. So, we are talking about types, types of immunity. So, immunity can be broadly classified into two types. So, first is innate immunity, and second is acquired immunity, that is also called adaptive immunity. So there are two types of immunity. So first, innate immunity. So innate immunity is a non-specific and immediate response. Innate immunity is present since birth, from birth, present from birth. And in innate immunity, the components include the components like there are four main components. So first is physical barriers. In physical barriers like skin, mucous membranes. Second is a chemical barrier. So chemical barriers, lysosome, stomach acid. So third one is cellular defenses. In cellular defenses, macrophages, neutrophils, and NK cells. And fourth is soluble mediators. So soluble mediators like complement proteins, cytokines. So that's innate immunity. Second, we are talking about acquired immunity. Acquired or adaptive. So that is specific. It is specific immunity. It is slower than innate immunity, but it responds with memory. It has a memory cells, so it responds with memory. So we are talking about adaptive immunity. So it develops after exposure to pathogens. That is not from birth. Innate immunity is from birth. So develops after exposure to pathogens. It is divided into two types. First is humoral and second is cell mediator. So divided into humoral immunity and cell mediator immunity. Okay, so in humoral immunity, that is mediated by beta cells, B cells, and B cells and antibodies. And cell mediated immunity is mediated by T cells, that is helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells. So let's remember, innate immunity is like a first responder, while adaptive immunity is more like a specialized task force. So that is difference. So we are talking about key components. So what is key concepts in adaptive immunity? So in adaptive immunity, two critical procedure. So first is clonal 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 selection and expansion. So it is a B and T lymphocytes that recognize specific antigens using receptors. Once activated, these cells proliferate and differentiate into effector cells and memory cells. Second is memory formation. Memory formation. So upon subsequent infections, memory cell provide a faster and more effective response, which is the principle behind vaccinations. So there are a flow chart that can read from book immune response to a pathogen. So first is antigen, APC, T cell, B cell, and last antibody production. So types of adaptive immunity. So there are mainly two types in adaptive immunity. So first is active immunity. Second is passive immunity. Inactive immunity occurs when the body procedure its own antibodies, and examples are natural infection. So inactive immunity examples: natural infection and vaccination, that are examples. Passive immunity. So passive immunity is transfer of ready-made antibodies. Its examples are maternal antibodies via placenta, and administration of antiserum. So there are two examples. So we are talking about disorders of immunity. So immunity is not always perfect. So let's discuss its disorders. So first is hypersensitivity. So overreaction of the immune system that leads hypersensitivity. That's examples are allergies and anaphylaxis. Second, autoimmunity. So immune system attacks itself, like in SLE, rheumatoid arthritis. Third one is efficiency. So, what is immunodeficiency? So, inadequate immune response. So, its examples are, that is common example. So, immunodeficiency examples: HIV, HIV/AIDS, and SCID. So, but summarize, immunity is our body's defense mechanism against pathogens. It can be innate or adaptive, and while it protects us, its dysregulation can lead to various diseases. A strong understanding of immunity forms a foundation of treating infections, diseases, autoimmune conditions, and even cancers. So that is very useful into clinical practice. So thank you for watching, and if you found this explanation helpful, like, share,